Hi, IASvideos.com is presenting you simplified daily current affairs analysis. France Yellow Vest protests, 211 arrested, 89,000 police deployed across country. Who are Les Gilets Jones? What are their grievances? What has the government conceded? Why India must learn lessons from Paris unrest? GS Paper 1. Issues related to society. In this video, you can find detailed answers for all the above questions. The above article has been retrieved from indianexpress.com, dated December 8, 2018. What is the context about? For the past 3 weeks, France has been experiencing one of the most significant social mobilizations in its recent history, which laid bare the country's social ills, anti-elite sentiment, growing inequalities and thirst for social justice. It all started on November 17 when tens of thousands of people took to the streets across the country to protest against rising fuel prices. Who are Les Gilets Jones, the Yellow Vests? The protesters dubbed Les Gilets Jones after the high visibility jackets they adopted as a symbol of their complaints blocked roundabouts, burned effigies and clashed with the police. They were angry about almost 20% increase in the price of the diesel since the start of the year, as well as planned fuel tax hike President Emmanuel Macron had recently announced. The movement, born online, cuts across age, job and religion and includes members of the working and middle classes, all affected by higher cost of living. Its members range from the factory workers and an unemployed to the self-employed and retired people. What are their grievances? What they all seem to have in common at the outset was their reliance on cars to get around, often living in more rural and less populated parts of the country. As the movement grew, the demands evolved and have now morphed into general anger at higher living costs and President Emmanuel Macron's economic policies. Some experts describe the bulk of protesters as people who struggle to make ends meet at the end of the month. What has the government conceded? The government has said it is scrapping the unpopular fuel tax increases in its budget and has frozen electricity and gas prices for 2019. The problem is that protests have erupted over other issues. Granting concessions in some areas may not placate all the protesters, some of whom are calling for high wages, lower taxes, better pensions, easier university requirements and even the resignation of the president. Some of his critics call him the president of the rich. Why India must learn lessons from Paris unrest? India isn't wholly immune to a similar phenomenon. Sure, the economy has continued to expand over the past decade and incomes continue to increase. But farmers in many parts of the country are in the grip of agrarian crisis. There have been at least 4 large protests by farmers in the past 6 months, and not enough jobs are being created. And according to a recent report by Credit Suisse, the Gini coefficient, which measures inequality in a country, has gone up in India from 81.3% in 2013 to 85.4% in 2018. Which is probably why India and every other country would do well to take note of events in Paris.